ReviewTechUSA here, stepping in for the RTU critic, while she is on vacation in Iran. I have some major issues with Rich's most recent video titled, "Another Moron Blames Video Games for Mass Shootings, but What About Antidepressants?" Basically, in this video Rich tried to imply that antidepressant medication is causing people to commit mass murder. Now watch me destroy his logic. Enjoy.
There's always something that bothered me that's never discussed. You never hear it discussed.
Nobody is talking about it because what you are about to say is completely retarded.
And there's honestly, even though it's still circumstantial evidence, just like with video games, it's all circumstantial because there's no one that could prove that video games are causing the violence. There's more circumstantial evidence with this than there is against video games. And what am I talking about? I'm talking about antidepressants. There's been case studies for years upon years upon years that say that antidepressants, which are now handed out like fucking candy, make people violent. So if you're taking a low dose of, with this study, with these young adults and kids between 15 and 24, if they were on a low dose of SSRI, they became 40% more likely to want to commit some kind of violent crime. But you never hear that talked about. No one ever talks about it. It's like la 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 la. No, we're not going to discuss that. Why is that though? That's strange.
Nobody talks about it for a very good reason, regardless. Let's keep watching.
Prozac may be dangerous for people, but because the court case was in their favor and they bought off some of the victims that were in that massacre that survived, legally it's considered safe, even though it may not be. Now, when you look at other mass shootings, there always seems to be some kind of antidepressant, SSRI, whatever the case may be, tied to the shooter.
Pay very close attention to this part. This is the part that Rich loses his own argument.
And I have 5 examples right here. Adam Lanza, the 2012 Newton, Connecticut shooting. He's fairly infamous. He was on Celexa and he was on some antipsychotic medication called Fanep that is very controversial. James Holmes, the 2012 Aurora, Colorado shooting. He was on Zoloft. He was also on Vicodin. Eric Harris from the very infamous 1999 Columbine, Colorado shooting was on Luvox, which is another SSRI. Sweng Hui Cho from the 2007 Virginia Tech shooting was on and off on Zoloft, Paxil, Prozac, again, antidepressants. Kip Kinkle from the 1998 Oregon school shooting was also on Prozac. So are you seeing what I'm saying here?
Yes, Rich, I'm hearing what you are saying. I'm hearing an uneducated, ignorant, obese man make a total fool of himself. Rich puts emphasis on the fact these killers were on medication when they committed mass murder. But this lazy slob forgets to mention, why were these people on medication to start with? That is right, because they were fucking crazy even before they got medicated. Do you think maybe that could be a factor, Rich? Of course it is. What Rich is saying is, that tiger killed this woman because it's on drugs. No, Richard killed that woman because it's a tiger, and that's what tigers do. Rich is so lucky to have the retarded audience he has, because none of them question him.
Look, this is circumstantial too. It's circumstantial just like with video games causing violence is circumstantial. But when you look at circumstantial evidence with antidepressants, SSRIs, anti-anxiety meds, and circumstantial evidence against video games causing violence, there's a hell of a lot more evidence with antidepressants and anti-anxiety meds making people lose their mind and want to fucking kill people than there is with video games doing that.
This is Rich's main problem. He cannot think for himself. These killers were insane before they took medication. That is why they are on these drugs in the first place. For all we know, the medication may have delayed these mass killings.
But it's never talked about. Why is it never talked about? I'm going to explain that to you too. I mean, it's not proven, but I can assure you, that's why you'll never hear when these mass shootings happen, even though there's a ton of evidence that links them to mass shootings. It's still circumstantial. There's still supposed to be more research done. But you'll never hear them say, maybe it is the drugs causing people to lose their fucking minds.
Oh my God, Rich wonders why so many people hate him. Rich, The reason more crazy people on medication commit mass murder than gamers is because they have severe mental issues to begin with. Gamers do not. For fuck's sake, you are dumb.
Who don't cause mass murders or don't go out and shoot up schools, but they're blaming them to take the attention away from something that actually has more evidence to it. Yes, both are circumstantial. Yes, there needs to be more research done to see if SSRIs are causing people or are a contributing factor to people doing these mass murders. But because these countries are paid off by big pharmaceutical companies not to talk about it, you'll never hear it. They'll blame everything else except it to make sure that people don't use their brains and think, maybe it is those anti-anxiety meds that might be a contributing factor causing these mass murders to happen.
Here is the best part of the video. Now watch this clip made by Rich a few years ago.
Morons did. I personally suffered from depression myself when I got laid off from my job in 2009. I sought therapy. I actually got medicated, and it helped a lot. I've been through it. I understand where he's coming from. I actually got medicated, and it helped a lot.
Laugh my fucking ass off. Rich himself was medicated for depression. He said it helped a lot. How many people has Rich killed? Rich clearly said it helped him. This is so hypocritical it made my head hurt.
Corruption is a scary thing. Money causes people to lose their morality. I hope it made you think tonight. I hope it made you guys realize that there's a lot of shady shit that goes on behind the scenes.
Yes, it did make me think. That is why I'm making this video in response. Of course, you know all about corruption and greed, Rich. You know about it because you practice it. You really should stick to gaming-only news for your own safety. Thanks for watching this video, and remember, keep exposing.